Ladies and gentlemen, support for this podcast is brought to you by Market Squawk, powered by livesquawk.co.uk for all of your on-demand pay-as-you-go data needs. If you're punting crypto, FX, shotting... Fabs, you got any gold?
I've got crypto.
He's got crypto. Shout out to Fabs. We tried to pitch him on Come Rocket a little while ago. That was obviously direct from Market Squawk. It's a big crypto, that one. Big crypto. We'll discuss that in a little while. Right. And support for this podcast is also brought to you by xbrain.co.uk. Enter promo code Fighting Words on all Xbrain products to save 30%. Fabio Wardley, Fight Week with Fabs. How you doing, mate?
Fight week.
Buzzing?
Yeah, I am actually. Yeah, I am. It's been a while. It's been a while. So I went to the Chisora fight, the Manchester show, and I was like, and I was back, like obviously live fans and big crowd, proper buzzy, and I was like, oh yeah, fucking I missed this. Like that was the one. And I was like, okay, cool. Christmas out the way, and then we're there.
Was that the evening you were roll necked?
No. When was I roll?
I don't know, but it was a big look.
I was
when
roll,
you see,
I think
6'5" professional fighter in a roll neck, you're like, geezer knows.
I was like, well, if Ed can do it, I can pull it off. He's a big kid. I was like, hang on.
Fact.
I see him in roll necks all the time. Oh my God, then I'd bet that.
It won't work with Del Boy though, because he ain't got a neck. So he's a scoop neck kind of guy. Yeah. So you went out to the Chisora fight. You had a nice time. Nice to be back in the crowds.
Yeah, it's just nice to be in the mix. Commentary debut as well. Bit of chat online.
Did well.
Some bollocks, so that was fun.
But yeah, taste for it.
Good. It was good, really good. So, and that gave me like the proper buzz to get back in the mix and get back and everything. Just like, although I already had it, but I was like, that's the bit that goes, yeah, actually, you know what? Let's get stuck back in.
Nice. How last time we spoke, I think it was just after the web fight, and you were saying that you wanted to have a nice amount of time off. You wanted a couple of things to heal up. Obviously, you're fighting on Sunday, so you must be healed up and wearing a Boxing Science t-shirt, which obviously we all watch the vids on that one.
Danny Wilson.
Crushing the numbers.
Yeah, I had a bit of time off. Good, did me good, man. Did my body good. Did me good all over. And
you've been busy, man.
Just back to the mix. It was nice. Just my body just needed it. That was all. It just needed a second to go. Hang on. Let's have a breather here. Let's have a moment. And for the most part, those the big issues that were the big injuries that were coming out of that have healed up, have gone completely, which is fantastic. So yeah, it's good to just, do you know what it is? It's good to just be like working again. Like when you go through like 2 or 3 camps in a row of like having little niggles and little problems that you having to kind of bandage and manage. When you get back in and you're like 4 or 5 weeks into camp and you're a little bit fitter and everything's moving nice, your body feels nice and loose and good, you're like, fuck me, I forgot what it felt like to just move and not have pain and not have to compensate for some issue and things. It's just, I can get back to being me. Like I remember my first sparring session back and my coaches were like, fucking hell, like we haven't seen that movement in about 1.5 years. We haven't, like, and I was like, I know I wasn't able to do it. Like my body wouldn't allow me.
It's hurting. That's why I've been taking it out on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mate, you are brutal with your coach. I love it. It's my favourite content.
Mate, and the problem is, do you know what it is? I probably wouldn't even bother, because that is our day to day. Like there's probably I put up maybe one every couple of days, once a week, something like that, of some dumb stuff that happens between us. But there is multiple a day I could put up. But if like the problem with it is, if everyone didn't react to it and find it so funny, I probably wouldn't do it. I'd just leave it. I'd leave it between us and it'd be funny. But I'd do it and everyone replies, like Ed replies and like the matchroom people, and everyone's just laughing. I'm like, mate, I just got to keep it going. Like the fans want it. People want to see it.
Now, I'm sure you've been asked this already because it's been around for enough hours. How many times have you set someone up with a camera on the slide, taken the shirt off after the session, wrung it out in a glass and said, how much do you want to be my trainer?
Absolutely. I've done the whole, look at me, I'm training hard, wrung my shirt out, but there is no way I'm putting that glass and doing nothing else like that. So, I mean,
you got to give it to him and just say, look, Dom is that dedicated. And then if he actually does it, you've got to go, I can't believe you've done that. I don't even know if I can speak to you anymore.
The thing is, my coach, he's proved his commitment levels with.
Doesn't matter.
A while ago, tattoo, and he's gone and got it. So I can't fault him. I can't fault him. He doesn't need to be put
I
through
don't
any
know
more
about
steps.
this. What's
You
the
don't know
bet?
about this?
No.
You don't know about this? So
Do you know Streets?
No.
Go on.
So basically, what it was is like obviously you see in the videos and stuff. There's a lot of banter between me and my coach anyway. And we had this ongoing joke that it was years ago. It started probably about 4 or 5 years ago that he was like, he's joking around. He's like inspiring, like you're gonna get sparked out, or in your fight you're gonna get sparked out, like you're gonna get dropped. But it's fun. It's
bad.
I'm like, cool, whatever. I'm like, I'm not. It's just not gonna happen. It's not happening to me. I'm not getting caught like that. And it's like, you will. Like inspiring. He's like, next week I'm gonna take you sparring. You're gonna get sparked out. Blah blah blah. So it goes back and forth, and I said, look, right, okay, cool. What we're gonna do is, I said, look, if this was, and like I said, this is about 3, maybe 4, probably even 5 years ago. It was a long time ago. I said to him, look, if I win a title, any title, Southern Area, English, British, World, whatever, if I win a title before I get dropped in either, and I'll even give you sparring as well. So if I get dropped in sparring, or if I get dropped in a fight, I will get a tattoo of your name on me. You can pick where, and I'll do it, no problem. And I said, but if I win a title before that happens, you have to get like my name, the date, and the title tattooed on you. He went, cool, fair, deal, no problem. And the thing is, it was an old joke, and it was ongoing. We're back and forth, and like 2 years ago and past, I'm going, mate, don't forget. And he's going, I don't care, it's not gonna happen. Nah. I'm gonna get you first, and this. I'm like, cool, no worries. We get there, obviously, fight camp 1, win my title. We're both buzzing, like for the whole time we're there, we're buzzing. Like everyone's like, we won the title, it's great, everyone's having a good time. We get back to the hotel when things settle down a bit, and I come into the room, and I'm like, you know what this means now, then? And he just goes, you watch him be like, oh no. And then credit to him, about a month later, got the tattoo on his arm right here.
Oh, no.
First of all,
why is it not the Fabio Wardley logo on the small of the back?
To be fair, I gave him the op. I said, look, all you have to do is get the tattoo. I don't care where, I don't care how big, I don't care what you want to do with it, whatever you want. As long as that ink is on your skin, no problem. I said, you get it on the bottom of your foot if you want. I don't care. Yeah. But he got it on his like arm, shoulder thing that's there. So whenever
that's dedication, if
ever you see him, just ask to see his arm.
I will. See, Streets and I have got a similar tattoo bet, which is if Jake Paul ever wins a world title, he has to get it's every day, bro, like a hot girl on Instagram on his ribs. Now, if that happens, I mean, I might even do it just for the matchy. At this point, all we care about is content. You know what I mean? You can do that as you're welcome. Forgive me for asking, but are you still fighting the same dude that BoxRec has? Because he's not on the poster. That's the only reason I'm asking.
What's his name?
So, Daniel Martz.
Yeah, still him.
Good.
Still him. It was him. It wasn't him. It was him.
Yeah.
It wasn't him. There's a bit of that. Finally got the 1000% confirmation today that it is him.
He's got some names on his record, doesn't he, the boy? Not bad.
He's been in with a few. He's been in with a few. He knows, like he's only lost the kind of higher level opposition.
Yeah. I mean, he's got on the list Charles Martin, Luis Ortiz, Bryant Duran, and Joe Parker. That's 4 pretty big names.
Yeah.
Respect.
He's well versed, knows his stuff.
He'll be a nice scalp to the collection.
But say what we're saying, done in 4? Just fancy a little bit of a shakeout?
Yeah, probably 4 to 6. I think 4 to 6. 4 to 6. Little move and shake. Get around a bit, shake some rust off, shake of the shoulders, and then get things done, and off we go.
When's the last time you was in front of a crowd? Was Larty in front of a little crowd? Was that the one that had like 1,000 people, but it felt?
It was Fight Camp 2, Nick Webb.
Yeah.
There was obviously a small crowd there. That's when.
Not like 02.
But in front of a crowd.
Yeah. It's a while ago, isn't it?
It's not for actual years. The only other one was Gibraltar. Rumble on the Road, had 500 people there. But even still, that's not a massive. So in front of a crowd has not been for a while.
So after this, obviously, I know you've been asked this 1,000 times, but you know we have to ask these same questions, which just means you're really good at answering the questions. So you know what I mean? So like we had Fraser Clark making his debut this weekend. Look composed, look well, you know, as a debut does. Like the domestic heavyweight scene here is it's strange, right? Because there's a very thin, it's like a rhombus, right? But an inverted rhombus. 2 diamonds. I don't know what I'm talking about, but the middle is very thin. Yeah. Oh, like a goddamn minute.
Yeah.
Middle's really thin. Prospect, beginner, thick. Up at the top, thick. So you're kind of in the mid. You're kind of at the lower mid now for experience, because you know this is only your 13th fight, right?
Yeah.
You know, and as they like to say, you don't have blah blah blah. That is irrelevant. But 12 fights in, you got you and Gorman and what, like Cash Ali, maybe Cash Ali. I mean, Johnny Fisher's probably 4 or 5 fights away from even being considered to be in that tier.
Still edging through.
Yeah. So for you, after let's get this fight out of the way. Sick. How many more times do you want to fight this year? And a culmination, are we talking British, European, Commonwealth, all 3?
Yeah, you're on the right route. Probably, I want to fight like out of the whole year. I probably want to do four fights. So I'm trying to get started early in Feb, and then means we kind of go every 2 or 3 months, and that would works out a pretty good kind of schedule. Yeah. In terms of kind of what to go for, yeah, the British is kind of the key aim, but Commonwealth and European are on a similar platform. So if they're there, then cool, we'll do those. If there's some sort of hold up, some sort of problem with the British, then fine, we can look elsewhere. It's just about progression more so. Like the English, I've won it, I've defended it, cool, tick that one off. We can shove that away now. We can go do something else. So that's the plan.
Nice. With the British, so that's got to be emptied out pretty soon, because like the last 3 times, I think twice we've had you on at least, it's been, you know, it's kind of held by Joyce. Joyce is waiting for his world title shot. He's got a busted wrist. He's got to be letting go of that pretty soon. Would you say, I mean, that it makes sense for you and Gorman to be called to fight for that one?
Yeah, I think so. With Joyce, obviously he has had it for a while, and he's got his own plans to do. I don't think he's necessarily kind of holding on to it like not letting anyone have it kind of thing. I just don't think there's not been too much pressure, not even for a real side right now to hunt for that British, just because I probably would have gone for it after my last fight, but I needed that time off. So to really put some pressure on the board and something for them to make hasn't really gone in yet. But it probably will do after this fight. But then the problem being who to fight for it. The only real viable option is Nathan Gorman. Now, the only other slight problem with that is he hasn't fought in a little while. He hasn't got a fight scheduled upcoming. So I assume before he goes into a British title with someone like me, he's going to want to have some sort of warm-up, some sort of rush shaker, something to get off. So that would add a bit of delay to it if it was to be him. And then if it wasn't, who else would it be? Potentially Cash Ali. That's probably about it. I don't really know any other names that are really worthy in that kind of that bracket, at least.
And then it's like a proper steep ascent to world level, isn't it? Which is brilliant, because exactly, and it's big steps up the side of that mountain.
That's the thing. Like that's what you say. The gap in between kind of the midsection to the top level is just like from there, and then boom, you're off, and then you just got to go really. Just trying to get enough experience at that kind of medium level before you have to just, because then you just can't really backstep either. I can't go up and fight someone of a high level and then think, right, well, that was quite tough. I need to take 2 or 3 off. I can't do that. Once I'm there, I'm there.
I mean, like Molina was almost one of those ones, wasn't it? From CV and experience wise and stuff like that. He was kind of like I would have had him at like the very fringes of world level. You did step up and you did deal with it. Yeah,
that's the thing. It was kind of one of those ones that it was an either side category. It could be seen as a kind of middle level. I think it depended on how. I think it more so depended on the performance and how I dealt with him. if I'd wiped him out in a round or two, people have gone, well, we can keep going, clean through. But it was a tougher fight for me, something I had to figure out a bit more. It posed problems to me, which just shows that I need a bit more time.
Yeah.
I don't know. The way people talk these days, if you had blown him out in a round, they would have just taken away from him. He was never that good anyway. And...
Yeah, to be fair, it's a fair point. It is a fair point. It's hard to please boxing fans. It is. It's hard to keep them happy, and I know that because I am one. But it's just the game we play.
Yeah, I mean, but you can't get you don't get much neg, do you? It's not like you're calling it on. You're not particularly vocal. If you were going to get neg, it would be someone that I would describe to be just a pure hater. Like they're just looking at you like,
I love them. I had one on Twitter the other day. I love it. Someone, what did he say? He said like, he tweeted me saying like, what he said like, Fabio Wardley shit. I don't know how he keeps like getting on shows or getting fights or something like that. And I just I replied to a coach that just said, shh, no one's noticed yet. Shut up.
I mean, there's no better way to handle that.
Fun, man.
Did you ever see, because Eddie had one of them where he was talking about it quite openly, where it was just like this geezer was just like laying into him, you're useless, you're nothing, you're shit, you've ruined boxing, you're nothing without your dad, blah 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 blah. And he just messaged back, he's like, mate, what are you going on about? And then the geezer was like, Jesus, you replied, you've made my day. And it's just like,
I promise you, I wish I could find the tweet. The geezer did the exact same thing. He was like, oh, nah, I'm only joking, mate. Like, really want to see you do well. All the best. Like, I'm like, mate, are you all right? Like,
no, he's not okay.
That's just all people want. It's just that they want to react. They just want to talk to you. And they don't think you'll reply.
Unless they're a total cunt.
So if they go, fuck it, I'll just be a dick to him and maybe I'll get something out of him. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But it's just, either way, I find it fun. I find it enjoyable. I actually quite enjoy it.
Sometimes you get Charlie Zelenoff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sometimes you get a few of those. You get a few of those. I had that like some random American guy who said he could like fight me and beat me and all sorts. And he sent me loads of commenting on like all my photos and stuff, saying I'm a bum. And I was like,
who are you?
Who are you? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And he's training with his top off. He's overweight in the carriage with a bag attached to a wall, like, and he's rolling shots and he's near on smacking his head on the floor and stuff. And I'm like,
best,
mate,
it's the best.
What are you on? It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
I mean, like you see the accounts like Boxing Shame. Boxing Shame will make your day feel so much better about everything when you see these. I'm not going to use some colorful language. These people, these beings doing pad work and they're just trying.
I love the ones with the sunglasses inside. Like that's a strong look. Like hitting the bag with sunglasses on.
I was going to say that a little while ago that your boy Dills messaged and he replied to a story. So we've had one which was like he put it up on his with a lol because there was an interview with him and he's fucking chewing his supplements. I'm like, dude, no one wants that. Like, I'm talking about like he's got his BCAAs, his creatine, putting them in his mouth and chewing them.
See, no, I do that, but I don't.
Oh, mate, you're an animal.
I don't chew them. I shot them. So like, I'll put the water in my mouth and I'll scoop and then put the
dry scooping.
Fine. And then I'll back it. That's how I do it. But I don't chew it. He's just, mate, the geezer's from a different planet, I think.
That's what I'm saying. You see someone that's chewing their supplements, you think you eat the center of an apple as well, don't you?
Yeah. You eat the whole thing. I hand you an apple. You're not giving me nothing back. There's no core.
Yeah.
It's gone.
So we had one of them, and then we did a post about Dills and Fury and stuff. And he DM'd to say, just this, talking shit. And I don't know if it was like the quote. I don't know if it was like the post. It was anything. And I was like, please, Mr. White, don't kill me. Please, Mr. White, please be nice to me. Please come on the podcast one day, please. So I don't know. No response. Obviously, no response. I showed weakness. To Dills, and that's it. It's gone forever, isn't it?
Just nothing.
Yeah. Just nothing. Yeah, just crickets.
Please. Yeah. No, he's like that. He'll say that to me as well. If if I do an interview, if I say something that he thinks is bullshit, he'll message me, go, "What the fuck you on about? What are you talking shit for?" Like, doesn't care. Doesn't care at all.
Speaking of people that don't care, how's the Savage?
I've actually got. I've like I said, I've been hectic today. I've been mad busy, and I've got a voice note from him. And it's probably him like just screaming at me for a minute.
Fabio, it's fight week. Blood of the enemies will run upon us. We are of noble blood. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, after this, I'm gonna reply to him to see what he said. I don't even know what he said, to be fair, but it's probably
how is he not on Cameo?
Oh, I don't know.
He needs to go on Cameo. And
There's
just,
a lot of voiceovers, acts, things he could be doing. We could get him on all sorts.
Oh, mate, imagine Happy Birthday from the fucking Savage. Like you put your roll neck on, we put a bit of Jodeci on in the background and it's all right. The Savage.
Suave, yeah.
Oh, mate, I think you should do it. I think you should do it with him. Do like the most aggressive boy band of all time, you Deals and the Savage.
I'll let you have that conversation with him.
I'll do that. I'll pitch it. I mean, to be fair, he looks like I look like a really bad version of him, like a really small, undernourished version of the Savage.
You're not fully formed. You're not fully.
No. I'm still waiting for puberty. To be honest, it never happened.
You're on the way.
Yeah. There's grey in the beard. I don't think it's going to happen. But guys, so your boy Johnny Fisher as well. Just to give you a little taste about that. How do you think he's getting on?
Bash.
Doing well, isn't he?
He's I think he's doing very well. I think he's doing really well. Doing everything he should be doing.
Yeah.
He's doing the right things in terms of getting around sparring everywhere. He's doing the right things in terms of listening to his coach and being dedicated and wanting to commit to the sport. And he's not having, like he saw in his last fight, he's not having too much of an easy touch along the way. Because especially with having that much of a fan base, when your career is an easy touch as well, that air of invisibility around you just feels tenfold when you've got thousands of people that want to come watch you, as well as you bang out in the first round or two. But just going through not going through the motions, but going through a fight with someone and not being able to get them out there brings you to a level where you go, right, still got to crack on with this, and I've still got to focus on that, and I've still got to do this. Whereas if you're just banging everyone, if they're feeding him cans and he's just banging them out in a round or two every time, he's just going to go, I'm the best ever. I'm invincible. I can't stop. It's just going to build and build. And then when you've got thousands of people screaming the wrong for bullying you, you're going to go, no, that's it. Thousands of people believe me as well that I'm great. So it's just, and then you lose a bit, and you lose a bit of fight, and you lose a bit of kind of spite, just ambition towards it. So I think his career is moving along perfectly.
Tell you what, the speed of which that they've deployed all of the merch, pretty impressive.
Mate,
they're a fucking machine, aren't they?
Rapid, mate. He's got merch out. He's got everything going for him. He's got it all.
Bless him. So, with from your perspective as you're his mate, we've had Johnny on a couple of times. Like, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Like, he's such a nice dude. I think we've got one planned in the next couple of months at the Fisher's house. Right, you're talking about they're a big lot. That little brother of his is massive as well, and Streets he's over 6 foot. I'm not. I'm gonna look like I've been won at a fair. Like, it's fine. I'm gonna look like a stuffed toy to the fucking little brother.
You've been brought along.
Yeah, I've been brought along. Yeah, I've got no choice in it.
That's what it is. He wants to meet and he's brought his son along.
Yeah, there's that, or we've brought you a concubine, basically. Like, I've got no choice. It's just a room of giant dudes. Yeah, but so he's got a huge amount of support, and obviously when you've got a huge amount of support, you're selling a huge amount of tickets. When you're selling a huge amount of tickets, there's matchroom are always going to love that, and they're talking about it because, to be honest, the last time I think I saw a Brit sell tickets in and have this sort of backing, I think it might have been like Ricky Hatton. I'm really struggling to think of another British fighter that's had this early doors
behind him.
Yeah. So from that perspective, do you think that he will be on the more fast track side where for you, we can see your progression? Do you think that they kind of do it almost like a Dubois? Because he I think was fast tracked, and now he's okay. Somehow he's mandatory for a fucking world title. Fine, you know what I mean. But they did fast track him ahead of that. Do you think they do that with John, or do you think they'd be cautious?
I think their hand will be slightly forced to it. I think they'll be slightly forced to put him in tougher fights a bit earlier than they might want to, and that his experience would warrant, really, because you say obviously Daniel got fast tracked a bit, but he came out of the GB squad. He had a big amateur career, big amateur backing, so although it was fast tracked in the pros, he already did a big bulk of his experience previously in the ABA, whereas Johnny hasn't had that. He needs to go on a almost like a similar path to myself, someone that didn't have too much previous experience that needs to build through the levels. But the problem with him is having so many fans and having so many supporters at an event, there's only so many times you can go in with someone that you can just bang out in a round or two where they're going to start to get fed up of spending 50, 60, 70, 100 quid, however much money, just to watch 2 hours of work and then go home again. Like, they're going to start to feel slightly just like, because I used to get that in my early fights, and I'd get rid of people in a round or two, like, I'd almost feel bad. I'd go see all my fans and stuff. Ask them like another first round, like it's good, but we want to see something. Like we've got ready, we've G'd it up for weeks, and we've all got ready and we've had a few drinks and everyone's, and then boom, minute and a half later, the whole event is done that we've came for. So it's a bit like it's a rock and a hard place, really. It's like it's a great situation to be in, but there's also it needs to be handled kind of. There's a fine line to manage it.
Yeah, it's like you've spent a few minutes getting ready. I'm getting punched in the fucking head. Like, I'll get him out of there as soon as possible.
I'm getting out regardless. I'm getting out there as soon as possible. But
have you realised that what you just said there would have intensely fucked him off in the corner? Like that's the stuff that Ian doesn't muck about with. Like, if the fight is 1 minute, the fight is 1 minute, and you will be happy. If the fight goes the distance, you will also be happy. You've bought a ticket to support me. How dare you back
these
me?
fuckers.
Yeah, see, look, he's got a fucking vein hanging out of his forehead.
But I know the other side where I bought tickets to go see people I really like and stuff, and then they're over and around. And don't get me wrong, you love it. You're buzzing for the person in the moment. But then once all the dust settles a bit, you're a bit like, oh, well, it was only a couple of minutes. Like, you just wish for a bit more. It's the same. Like same thing I said earlier. Boxing fans were extremely hard to please.
Do you think? Did you watch this weekend? Just to do a little bit of topical Saturday. Did you like it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it actually. I really enjoyed it. Surprisingly
good card, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was really good. The main event was obviously really good. There was some good underfights as well. Brad Ray, a friend of mine, banged.
Was he a mate of yours? Mate, that was a filthy knockout.
He's good, man. Really good.
Yeah, he was buzzing.
Yeah, I was buzzing to see him do that. That was such a lovely knockout as well. It was so good. So, yeah, it was a good card. Good card overall, to be fair. It was nice. It was nice. It's nice to see. It's just good to see Sky doing a bit more because, not to say different, but some of them cards last year that they had, they just weren't. There was nothing grand and there's nothing particularly exciting. And it's good to just see that there's more coming from that side and they're putting more into it. There's more development stuff coming. So, who knows what they're.
I mean, like we've said 1,000 times, like the Sky are always going to have the infrastructure and they're always going to have the expertise to put on the shows. What they lost when Matchroom went to DAZN was the talent pool. But if you've got like deep pockets like Comcast and Sky do, you can make that up. And they're going to be catching up, and they've opened up the checkbook, and they've got a bunch of fighters that you probably would never really have been known that much. Like some of them are our mates. Like, Dan Aziz on that boxer card in December, like he stole the show. But before that, you'd seen him on like a Queensberry, like he wasn't signed to anyone. And you're just like, how are you fighting for a British title, but you're not a staple for any solid promoter? But like at least with Sky, if they want to put on the content and they're just like, look, we'll take a little bit of a loss on this if this leads to something else, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Sky are clearly investing in the future with their building people, their building profiles, building people into pay-per-view, building people into big fights. And they're grabbing the people like Fraser Clark and others that they've grabbed early on. So they're investing in the future, which is good. It's just good for boxing as a whole.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't mean that they're just gonna like kind of buy out and go, sack it off and go, you know what, now we've separated from Matchroom or whatever, we're not doing it anymore, we're going to sack it off. If they've stayed in, and with what they've done shows that they're keen to be in it as well. They're not just here to kind of mess around, they want to do something with it, so it's good.
I mean, they seem quite, I think like even Ben Shalom had a crack at the Dillian card, didn't he? Dillian Fury, I think they tried to put a bid in or was talking about a bid or something. But I think he had a crack at it, bless him.
I'm sure. Officially, the only two bids that went through were Frank's and Ed's. I don't know.
They was talking about him phoning on behalf of Dillian or something.
Yeah, I saw that interview. I saw the same thing you're talking about. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know the details of it. I don't know what they were on, but I know the only two that were in were Matchroom and Frank.
Either way, it wasn't enough.
Yeah, whatever that phone call was or whatever he did, it wasn't enough.
Because we are on the evening, and I think I have to ask it because he's your mate. Like Dillian, at the point of recording, which is where we're at now, 9 o'clock at night on Monday. He's got 9 hours really to sign that before I don't know really what happens. There's no way he's not signing it, right? Like you don't wait for. I know you can't really say, but like hey, but you got to remember that this won't be released until Thursday.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's all fun and games. Like, let's be honest. Dill's not gonna ask for this fight for God knows how long, and then when it comes, just go, actually,
yeah.
like
at the same time, like there's no incentives to do any more than he needs to. So like you were saying, like he'll wait till the last minute and just be like, all right, fuck yeah.
Literally, just because I want the fight and I'm going to do it doesn't mean I have to do everything at a rushed pace. Doesn't mean you have to send me the contract and I have to run to it and go, oh yeah, I've got to do it now, sign the paper, send it back. Like, bro, I'll do it at my own time. I've got stuff to do. I've got places to be. Like, you'll get your contract back. Don't worry. I've got a deadline. As long as I stay within that, I don't care if I do it a week before, if I do it a minute before. If you get it, you get it.
I like the idea of the minute before. Or maybe 5 minutes before, because you don't want anyone mucking about with clocks, do you?
Like, if your power goes randomly or something.
Mate. Yeah, you're sitting there, you're on the other side of that phone call is fucking Frank Warren and Bob Arum. You're just like, oh mate, they're gonna do something.
They're not gonna help you at all. You're gonna go, oh nah, Bob, quick, I'll just give me another 10 minutes. Let me just reset my router, and he's gonna go, nah, fuck off.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, I've got some other guy that is a little bit weird though, isn't it? Because you got like Eddie essentially on his own. Then you got Sky, who's got a relationship with Wasserman and Boxer, so they're there too. But then they've also got the top rank deal, so they're in bed with Arum as well. And then you've got Warren and Arum. It's literally like they're all, and PBC doesn't really muck about with anyone other than PBC. Yeah, even at their own detriment, bless them.
Yeah, they don't get it. They're just like, no, we're doing our own thing. That's cool. You lot run whatever. No worries.
Yeah, but like even to their fighters, we had Regis Prograis on, and he was just like, they said that they were going to deliver this fight, and this fight, and then they just never did. And then they said that I was going to fight Barrios for Tank's WBA, and that also just didn't happen either. And then he was just like, well, I suppose I'll go somewhere else. And they're like, yeah, you probably should. You know what I mean?
Mental.
Yeah. Madness. Fabs, I'm not going to keep you too long, mate, because obviously fight week. Huge respect again for doing this. We will be watching on the Sunday. Shout out to the Sunday show. I'm not angry at it. You know, it's quite.
I watched the Sunday show last year and I quite enjoyed it. I liked a bit of Sunday. It's quite nice.
I think I quite like it as well.
A bit earlier as well. Like it's the show. I think the before the bell will kick off at about 3-4ish, and the main event, not the main event, but the main card will start at like 5 p.m.
That's nice.
Nice.
Mate, I'm from Australia. We have fucking Wednesday night fights. So Sunday,
Again, the Wednesday night fights ain't bad. You got Tim Zhu banging out some dude on a Wednesday morning. You're like, sick. Commute handled.
God, go on then.
Yeah. But guys, very best of luck. We will be watching. And always we'll chat soon.
Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. Always.
Get some chat. Can't wait.
See you later. Bye,
Cheers,
guys.
boys.
You know, Robert.
Laters.